Calgary Police Service has deployed resources to search an area east of Calgary in relation to the ongoing Amber Alert for Taliyah Leigh MARSMAN. At approximately 10:30 p.m. last night, police took a man into custody who investigators believe may be involved in Taliyah's disappearance. Subsequent information was obtained, and as a result, we are searching a rural area east of Chestermere for evidence in relation to this case. Police obtained CCTV footage that shows a dark gray sedan traveling in the community of Panorama around the time witnesses believe Taliyah was last seen. The man taken into custody is believed to have been driving the sedan and may be connected with Taliyah's disappearance. The car was seen driving close to where homicide victim Sara BAILLIE's car had been recovered, and at this time search crews have been unsuccessful in locating anything of significance to this case. The Amber Alert remains in effect, and anyone with information in relation to Taliyah's disappearance is asked to call 911 immediately. And I can try to answer any questions you might have now.
Can you talk about how many resources you have searching the rural areas right now?
I don't know specifically. I can tell you it's a lot. I would guess probably somewhere between 50 and 75 people, both from Calgary Police Service, RCMP.
Can you talk more about what you're looking for?
Well, we have information based on the investigation throughout last night that the individual we have in custody was in that area for a brief period of time. So we're looking for anything that might be related to this.
Was the last, when you say the last time that we think Taliyah was seen, was that Monday morning? When the gray sedan was found, or was that Sunday night of the year?
Monday.
Sir, at what time, sir?
Monday, approximately noon, 11:30.
So you have confirmed that this little girl was in fact Taliyah?
No, we believe that to be the case. It hasn't been confirmed yet. What we know is the victim's vehicle was abandoned or moved to Panatago Close Northwest. We believe that a male suspect, a black male and a young girl matching Taliyah's description went from that car into the gray sedan. Just a second, please. The gray sedan has been recovered. We have that vehicle. Person we have in custody, we believe is the driver of that vehicle, and we believe at this point that the person we have in custody is the individual that witnesses saw, and we're still working towards confirming that.
Do they know Sara? Do they know Sara?
Is he a suspect? Is he a suspect?
Yeah, he's in custody right now, and he's been arrested, and he's in custody right now being interviewed.
Did that suspect know Sara in any way that you guys know?
Yes.
What is the relationship?
He is known to the family.
How is he known?
He's known to the family is all I'll get into at this point. He can't be identified yet.
Can
Is
you
he
talk
known?
about his level of cooperation right now?
0.
No cooperation.
No cooperation.
Is he known
Sir.
to the dad as well?
Yes, I believe so.
Are you still confident that you're going to find Taliyah safe?
That hasn't changed for us since the onset of the investigation.
Sir, is the man that you have in custody related to either side of the families?
No.
How old is he?
Mid-30s?
Can you talk about anything that's
Early 40s, maybe?
Sorry, can you talk about anything that's been found out in that rural area so far?
I don't know. The only thing that I know that was found has been a stuffed animal of some sort, but we have no idea if it's related to this or not. It's a large area. There's probably several things out there that we may or may not know where they come from.
What led you guys from Panorama Hills all the way out now to Chestermere? What's the connection, I guess?
Information that comes to light through several investigative strategies led us to believe that this individual was briefly in that area. We've searched other premises in the last few days. This rural area is no different, other than the fact it's a rural area and draws some attention. So for investigators, it's no different than the houses we've searched. It's another area to search. We've come up negative on the others. If we come up negative on this, we'll continue the investigation.
The
Are
Amber
charges
Alert was
pending?
48 hours now since the Amber Alert. Are you still hopeful that we can find her?
Yeah, we are. Like I said, there's been nothing to indicate the status of that has changed since the onset of the investigation, and finding Taliyah alive, our thoughts and opinions have never changed.
Are charges pending?
We'll see by the end of today. We have a limited time period to conduct the interviews and assess that information by law, and that's the goal, but we'll see where we get to.
When
Are
do
you
you need
looking
to
for
free
other
him?
suspects, or is it just this one person?
Yeah, we haven't closed our minds to any other suspects. There could be more people. We don't know that at this time.
When do you need to release him?
Later tonight.
So just to clarify, this man that you have in custody, did he give you any indication, like was something that he said that led you outside of Calgary, or was it a different situation that led you to that?
I wouldn't comment specifically on that. Like I've indicated before, it's a balance between providing information and jeopardizing the investigation. So as much as it's nice to know some of that stuff, our priority is the investigation and finding Taliyah.
And
Sorry, you had a question over here?
Can you walk through, you sort of briefly did it, can you go through the sequence of events where you thought the man and Taliyah and Sara were in one vehicle and went to the other? You briefly went over that. I wanted to get
Sure. So we had witness information that was obtained through neighborhood inquiries. Witnesses believed they saw a black male. Well, they saw a black male and a young female. They believe matched Taliyah's description at approximately 11:30 on Monday, and then get into another vehicle.
that go from Sarah's to another vehicle?
Right from the victim's vehicle, exit that vehicle, go to another vehicle.
The gray vehicle.
We believe so.
And
So
was-
through further neighborhood inquiries and investigation, we determined that to be the possible vehicle. We've since found that vehicle, arrested the driver of that vehicle, seized the vehicle, and are processing it forensically.
Where was the vehicle found?
The vehicle was seized at the point of the individual's arrest in the shopping mall parking lot that's, I'd say, northeast corner of 32nd Ave and 32nd Street Northeast.
Generally, when you're searching a rural area, it tends to be a little more of a negative situation. Should the
Absolutely.
public read anything into that?
No, like I said, we've searched several houses, 3 or 4 houses we've searched for Taliyah since the onset in the investigation based on information. This is no different, only by virtue of the fact that it's a large outdoor area and it does have a more ominous tone to it, but we're looking for anything that might be related to this investigation, nothing specific.
Can you say how long the search will continue for? Like, will you just continue around the clock?
Well, the search will continue until the search manager and the people that are doing that search are satisfied that it's been searched
How many investigators are working?
completely. Sorry?
How many investigators are working in this case?
There is probably at any given time, over a 24-hour period, probably fluctuates between 30 and 100.
Yesterday, you had talked a little bit about, you're keeping your mind open. She might not be in the city anymore, especially with that suitcase in tow. Are you working on a broader scope, not just Calgary, not just Chestermere, not just Alberta, or are we still focused she could be here in the province?
Yeah, we've reached out to our interprovincial partners. There has been no information that's changed since the start of the investigation in regards to that. So until there's something specific, we would then focus our efforts outside that. We don't have that right now, so we're focusing locally, but are aware of possible interprovincial connections and keeping our minds open to that.
Sorry,
What
somebody cut you off because we need to let him finish his answers here, but can you talk about the seizure of that vehicle and what happens as far as forensics and stuff with that vehicle?
I actually can't because I'm not the forensics guy, but I know that we have an excellent forensic crime scene unit, so that vehicle seized and towed to our own facility where it'll be processed forensically by that area.
To what extent is the dad still collaborating to your your investigation?
Yeah, his status hasn't changed, nor has his level of cooperation.
Could you talk a little bit about, when you're dealing with an Amber Alert, the urgency and perhaps the emotional difficulty it is for officers and the forces in general?
Yeah, there's been a lot of focus and a lot of people putting in a lot of hours to the point where investigators have to be ordered to go home, quite honestly, because they get to a point where they just physically cannot operate effectively anymore. And that speaks to the level of commitment and focus around files like this. The Amber Alert gives us a broader spectrum of awareness, but the investigative focus and what's being done investigatively doesn't change as a result of it being an Amber Alert. That's just a tool to market what's going on provincially.
Do you
Could you tell
believe
us
that
more
somebody
at this
out
point
there-
about the murder of Sara Baillie? Is there any more facts that are known? Is there
No, not that we would
way she was
publicly
killed?
announce, yeah.
Do you believe that there's still someone out there not in custody right now that has more information that could lead to the safe?
Potentially, we're always open to that. That can change in a moment's notice. The investigation and investigations like this are fluid, and they can literally change at a moment's notice. So, our minds are open to that, even though we have a suspect right now in custody. That we're not blind to any other options that may exist.
Just to be clear, so we have a scene in Panorama Hills, we have the scene in Chestermere. Is there anything else in the Calgary area that you guys are digging into?
I don't know. I don't know if I necessarily classify Chestermere as a scene. That's a search area. It's only a scene if something's located of evidentiary value, and that hasn't happened.
Was this individual who you're questioning, was his residence searched?
I don't believe that at this point it has been. I don't believe so.
Will that be?
That will definitely will be done. I don't believe it's been done yet.
Is
So
he a
just to
suspect?
clarify, you didn't say, is there another scene other than the one in Panorama Hills then? You said, I know,
No,
I realize.
no, just the one that we would consider a scene. It's just the one in Panorama.
And we're not looking into any other situation in Calgary? Like, I know that Nancy asked if we had any other suspects. I asked as well, and you kind of mentioned you might be looking into it. Is there anything else that the public should be looking out for, or anybody you're looking for, or?
Yeah, well, the public should continue to be looking out for Taliyah, and any information they think may be of value should be passed on to investigators. We have one suspect in custody. We have interviewed, I don't know how many we've interviewed, a ton of other people, and their involvement or non-involvement gets assessed post-interview, and those are continuing. So although we don't know who's a suspect until we make that decision. So we have one person in custody, and as far as I'm concerned, everybody else could be involved.
So can you clarify just a little more about his arrest and the area? We're not too clear on this small area and what the circumstances, like, was it a traffic stop?
Well, the investigators located the vehicle. It was mobile. The vehicle was then located or followed a short distance to, there's a strip mall northeast corner of 32nd Ave and 32nd Street Southeast. I think there's maybe a Tim Hortons or something in the center of that, or in that strip mall. Somewhere in that parking lot is where the vehicle was stopped, and he was taken into custody.
Is the suspect also suspected for the murder?
We'll find out.
Is he known to police?
Yeah. Sorry, you had a question over here?
That was my question. What is his criminal history?
He has an extensive criminal history, but until he can be named, I can't get into it, but he has an extensive criminal history.
Is he violent?
I believe his background would probably have some of that in it, yeah.
And has he ever had any violence with anyone in these two families?
I don't know that.
How large is the search area east of Calgary?
I don't know that, honestly. The search managers would know that. I just know it's a large rural area, but I personally don't know the size of it.
will search and rescue be brought in as well, or just officers right now?
Potentially based on how long it takes, what we come up with. If there's anywhere else we need to search, we may leverage Sara. At this point, I don't believe we have, but that's always an option.
Is the suspect friends with either of the family or just known to them, either the mother's side or the father's side?
Yeah, he's known to the family. I can't comment on what people would consider a level of relationship friend-wise, but he's known to the family.
And just to clarify, to both sides,
Both sides.
of the mother and the father's side?
I believe so.
And would he have known the girl?
Yep.
He did?
Did the mother have a boyfriend?
I don't know that for sure. We've asked in previous media sessions for any information around that, and that hasn't changed either. Anybody who thinks they might have something on that, to let us know.
Is the family you've seen at the Dairy Queen on closed caption, was it?
I don't believe we've tracked those folks down yet. We may have, I just may not know that, but I don't believe we've found out who those people are.
Is this emotional for a lot of the officers?
I think it's emotional for everybody. There's always a heightened level of awareness that you see in incidents like this. There's, like with large investigations, a little bit of an emotional roller coaster at times that investigators have to manage. And I can tell you there's a ton of people helping out with this service-wide. We've had people come to give us a hand that normally don't, and that just speaks to everyone's level of commitment. There's a ton of people working on this.
And how's the family doing?
They're doing exactly as expected. They're very troubled by this, very upset. They want Taliyah safely returned. They've lost their daughter, they've lost their niece, and they're just hoping that at least Taliyah can be returned safely.
Was she comfortable with the man where the witnesses saw, who they may believe to be her?
I don't know that for sure. I can't speak to that. I honestly don't know.
And was any of that captured on security footage, or that was just eyewitness?
So far, I believe eyewitness.
Can you speak
That's
to
all we've
just,
got
can I
time
just
for.
ask one?
Okay, last one.
Can you just speak to the level of frustration when you have somebody in custody, you have a girl missing, you want to get her back alive, and he's not cooperating? Like, it's got to be frustrating.
It's incredibly frustrating, but fortunately, the investigators involved are all professionals, and they do this for a living. It's their thing. So what the level of frustration that you'd expect is there, but it's managed in a very professional manner, and the complete focus is on moving this ahead.